Hello and welcome to the Metabreakers Podcast, episode number 60, starring your wonderful hosts as always. We have Illidan Incarnate, DracoCatt over there on the right side. We have Meme Deck Money Making Stock Guy, the Warshack, in the middle of your screen. And we have me, D-Money, you know.
The Battleground Superstar.
I mean, I didn't say it.
Oh my god.
Welcome, guys. We got a good episode for you. We got some new stuff to talk about. How's it going? How's it going, guys?
It's going pretty good. I had a really good weekend. I went to the beach yesterday. So my body's a little sore. You don't realize how out of shape you are until you try to run on sand. And then you get owned.
Yeah, fair enough. Nice. I tried to play. My brother was home the other day, and we played some basketball. We both had not done anything during the quarantine pretty much. And we got to 3-3, and then we had to call it. It was just too much. And then I almost passed out or threw up. I just lay down for a bit. It was too much. Yeah.
Oh man.
So I can't even imagine running on sand. Yeah. Oof.
Yesterday I went to the Melting Pot. I don't know if you've ever been to that
Yes.
place.
Oh my god. The cheese, bro.
Yeah.
The cheese. The melted cheese.
Yeah, man. We were celebrating our friends that got engaged and got a house. They did both at the same time. So you're like, all right, one dinner, we're gonna take our friends out. It'll be great. And we had 3 bottles of wine.
Ooh.
As a table. It was a great night. Let me tell you. Yeah, and then this morning I had brunch, so life is good, right? How does it get better than that?
That sounds most awesome. What's your favorite part of the melting pot? Is it the cheese? Is it the main course? Or is it the desserts?
I think it's between the cheese and the main course for me. I always get the steak lovers. Because I like looking at all the different kinds of steak and cooking them and all the different stuff. So, so I really enjoy that part of the meal. But at the same point, I do melted cheese is probably my kryptonite. Every single time I order tacos or something, I always have to get chips and queso and stuff as well. Every single time I go to a Mexican restaurant, I think that's just my actual problem in life is queso and cheese dip, melted cheese. That's my weakness.
I always get a double order. I get the cheddar one. Oh, it's so good. Then I ask for more bread. I need more bread. Need more stacks. Oh.
Let's go.
Well, we could look at this melting pot of a meta here.
Unfortunately, the meta is not as good as the melting pot. Paladin still chilling. Number 1. What a surprise. So very glad to see such an interesting class doing great.
Yeah. So exciting. The meta, does it look exactly the same as last week? Let me look.
I feel like more classes got closer to the 50% mark. But...
A little bit, yeah.
Paladin went down a 0.1%.
Wow. Did Shaman
Hunter
move?
went up a 0.1%.
Okay.
Yeah, this is really similar.
Yeah, I mean, the meta is pretty figured out until we get new stuff, but we do have new stuff to talk about. There is the mini set that got announced for the 3rd, June 3rd, which is coming up very soon already. And they have already revealed a few cards, so we're going to go over those in a bit. And that should definitely shake things up, but we could get into just the top 1K if you guys want.
Let's do that.
Yeah, there's only really one thing that I wanted to ask about here, and it's the new, I guess, Menagerie Paladin that's been floating around. A lot of people have been playing it. I wondered if you guys had any experience playing it or playing against it and your thoughts on that, because that's really the only thing that's different here. I mean, we've gone over basically every deck here besides that one, so.
I can talk about playing against that deck. I've played against it a lot. I play Death Rattle. I've been playing Death Rattle Demon Hunter for the past week and a half or 2 weeks now. Just because I've been really enjoying that list with all the legendaries and stuff, and it shits on that deck. The Menagerie Paladin, it is awesome. So I love when I run into it because it is just not good enough to get through my stuff. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no way for that deck usually to beat me, but sometimes it can get through. I don't know. I do understand why it's good, because I imagine if I was playing Warrior or any class that has a hard time dealing with removing those like slightly like the what are they, the carousel dudes, the 8/8s with the Divine Shield. That's a little bit annoying, but yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's that great of a deck. I think Secret Libram Paladin is probably better, but I understand why people play it, because they want to have some kind of game against like Priest and the grindy control decks more than they usually do.
I think the deck is so good because it's just not good against the Demon Hunter, because Demon Hunter just gets on the board faster.
Yeah.
And they don't really give it a shot, but like if it has a little bit of time, then it's going to like stop. Usually, that's how I feel. And like, yeah, you said like against Rush Warrior, like it's even like Rush Warrior doesn't even stand too much of a chance. Like Rush Warrior does like fight back on the board really well. Like I feel like Rush Warrior is more of like a reactive kind of deck. So like you're still giving Paladin that time, like you're waiting for them to play stuff kind of sometimes.
You need conditioning to beat it with Rush Warrior. Like without conditioning at the right time with a thick hand of minions, like there's no way that you get through it. The only way. But
well, at least it's beatable.
Yeah.
That's all we care about, you know. But yeah, I mean, anything like honestly, like anything that runs N'Zoth is probably good. So I could see it. I could see it being very good.
I like N'Zoth being good. I mean, yeah, I am a little bit biased in the fact that I've been playing an N'Zoth deck for 2 weeks long now, but I think it's cool that like all the other decks that are like somewhat mid-rangey get a giant reload at the end that allows them to come back for like a one single last time. I know it probably sucks on the other perspective if you're playing like a control deck and that was the one thing that your opponent couldn't have to win, but
yeah, as a control deck, you gotta figure they've got some sort of N'Zoth in there, right? So you gotta save one removal for it, whether you're a priest and you gotta save a soul mirror, or you're a warrior and you gotta save like a brawl or something like that. I feel like that's fine. I mean, mid-range decks deserve some sort of like late game. Yeah, well, some late game win con. We haven't been seeing too much of, I suppose, like mid-range. Like Death Rattle Demon Hunter is not really something that we saw a lot of at the start of the expansion. And to see that pop up this late in the expansion because of the couple buffs that rolled around, and to also see, not that I'm a big fan of Paladin, but still like some sort of different build of Paladin that's still pushing past, top tier 2, low tier 1 again this late. It's just, I guess it's fun and different. Most fun and different we're gonna have. So
yeah, I think Death Rattle Demon Hunter was good the entire time. I don't think the Razorboard buff actually made that much of a difference. I think the deck was actually just good, but people weren't giving it the time of day to refine it, because other things like Lunacy Mage were going crazy, and Paladin was even a little bit worse before, with like the aggro Paladin just being so curvy and stuff, that like I don't think a lot of people really refined it like it had been in the last couple weeks. But I think it was good the entire time. So
I mean, it was always like a solid deck, but the problem was that everything else was just too good, and that's why it got like that minimal buff with the 3/2, and like the N'Zoth 1 mana less, like that is a big deal. But the biggest deal was probably just everything else getting hit like a decent amount.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll even see some changes when they drop the mini set. I'm not that hopeful about it, but that would be cool.
Shaman got draw. There could be a Shaman deck.
Spoilers.
Sorry. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we can pop into the... Yeah, let's look at the new cards. The first one being a new Murloc. We have a 7 mana 4/4 Murloc here, and he's Battle Cry. Eat a minion in your opponent's hand, and you gain its stats.
That card's gonna feel good for someone when they play it.
Yeah, I'm not sure which person though.
Yeah, it's gonna feel really good or really bad, like for someone every time it's played.
Yeah, this card's really like I post on Twitter, but like I love combo disruption cards because I hate combo decks. So like this is the kind of card for me, but it's like against a combo deck like OTK Demon Hunter, it's just like yay, now I have a 1 in 5 chance against like to pull out Il'gynoth unless they already killed me before turn 7. And then it's like it could totally mess up like against Rogue. Like it's very unreliable, but it's very cool at the same time because like I want it to be good. It actually like seems like it should be decent overall. Like
I think it'll be good.
It'll probably be running a decent amount of decks, like control decks, especially. But I don't think it does really the job that I would want it to do.
The high rolls with it are really tilting from the opposing perspective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if someone eats my Inquisitor with this, I'm gonna be so upset. You know what I mean? And that's gonna happen all the time.
Or N'Zoth, like that, yeah.
Yeah, I think this card is.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I think this card's like a really good control deck if you again can live long enough to like use it, and it won't be that great in the aggro matchup. But you know, if we have these mid-range decks running the N'Zoth, right? I mean, that's a great target for it because it comes out before the N'Zoth. If you're playing against OTKDH, it's good against that. Priest, it hit quite a few things. So yeah, I don't see why this would not see play in a control deck. Plus, you know, if you're gonna get a little even spicy, you could put in a deck of Chaos Warlock, make it cost 4 mana. So
ooh, I didn't think of that. I honestly was just thinking about how horrible it would be if somehow like you could slot it into Rogue, and then you could like Potion of Illusion it and discount it and 10 woo it, and then like eat your opponent's entire hand. Like,
yeah,
that would be really nasty. Because you could just keep, if you could play this card a whole bunch of times, it would be really, really unfair feeling.
Well, there was a card semi-similar to this back when it was the Rogue Shark. And remember, it was a 5-mana 2/2. You eat a card in your deck, and then it would gain its stats, and then its death rattles put that card in your hand. And that card was terrible. So hopefully, eating our opponent's cards are a little bit tastier. Plus, I like this guy's artwork.
Be a little tastier, yeah.
And the play around is interesting too. I don't know if you guys thought about that. So like, if you think your opponent has Mutanus, right? Then you basically want to not leave only the strong minion left in your hand. So you want to like at least keep it at 50-50 if you think like, okay, I can play the cheap minion now, but then if my opponent plays Mutanus, then it'll always hit my N'Zoth or something. You know what I mean? Like, so it'll definitely introduce interesting counterplay, as well as it'll feel really good when you do counterplay around it and you do that successfully. Like I can imagine in like Demon Hunter, I'll make a whole bunch of sigil runners in my hand with Illidari studies, just so that like if that thing hits me, it'll hit a little 1/1 and not like an important card, and that'll feel great. You'll be like, well done, gotcha, you know. But the other circumstances where it hits the card anyway are gonna feel so bad.
Yes, you will. Also, this card does corrupt Ticketus as well. That's what people have been talking about. So, I mean, it should fit in a control deck very well. So, it does make sense that it could go into that deck. They are lacking like 7 drops. I think it's only Malicia pretty much. So, yeah, you just hate to play that for 7 mana.
Yeah, you don't want to, but
yeah,
you know, it ends up having to come down almost anyway. So. All right.
This is the Murloc I was expecting though. When I saw like a legendary Murloc, I was like, okay, Shaman's finally out of the fucking dumpster. And then this is not helping Shaman at all.
Yeah, this is definitely not some sort of like, I mean, maybe control Shaman, but yeah, not really like a normal like this is definitely against the normal Murloc of like some low mana cost like aggro card. This is like big Murloc boy, which is actually like the final boss in Wailing Caverns that you summon. So he's quite fun to fight. The next card we have here is the Primal Dungeoneer, the first Dungeoneer that we're going to be covering. There may be more. Hey. And it's 3 mana, 2/3 Battle Cry, draw a spell. If it's a nature spell, also draw an elemental. So obviously very, very, very powerful in Elemental Shaman. And this is draw. So what do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean every spell in Shaman pretty much is nature spell. Most of them are. So you're usually going to get that elemental, which is very nice. Draw 2 for really sacrificing 1 attack and stats is very nice. Yeah, I think it's a good start. You need to see more for it to work, because like the elemental package is pretty underwhelming to me.
I like how that's forced on this card. They could have made it say like Battlecry, draw a spell. If it's a nature spell, draw another. You know, like that would be good.
Yeah.
That would just be a good card for Shaman. But instead it's draw an elemental, where it's like forcing other synergy into the deck, which is hilarious.
Play bad archetype. No, but actually, like, it's still, you might be able to get away with running minimal elementals with this card, because the Cage Match Custodian is an elemental, and that does tutor your weapon. So maybe there's some minimal elemental package that you could run, and this card would be viable in that, instead of having to run the whole entire elemental package, which is pretty bleh. Like the Arid Stormer card is just so bad. But yeah, it's cool. It's giving me some hope that Shaman can be viable. Yeah.
Maybe.
I think this card is really good. The only problem I have with it is right now Shaman has, like, when I'm building a Shaman deck, 3 mana is like the highest like card mana cost in the deck. Like I always have like 12 3 mana cards, and I always have to like skimp it down just because there's so many good 3 mana cards. So with this, again, hitting that 3 mana slot, it just makes the deck even more 3 mana heavy. It's just kind of weird. So that's
like
my only,
Hunter, though, past. So, and like Hunter used to run like 12 3 mana cards. So maybe it could work.
It topped out. It topped out at 3 mana. Elemental Shaman and Control Shaman, Mid-Range Shaman, Burn Shaman. They top out like what, 5 or 6-ish area. Not normally 3.
No, it was like Highlander Hunter would still run like a ton of 3-cost cards and stuff like that. Maybe like Dragon Hunter as well. And like you're running like Varanus, you're running like Rottnest. You're still running like higher cost of cards, but that 3 slot was always like 12 cards at least in there. So like maybe it can work in Shaman. I don't know.
Maybe.
Also, I want to correct you, Draco. You said mutinous before or something for the Murloc. You have to actually you have to pronounce
anus.
You have to pronounce the anus in the card, or else it's wrong. So
mute anus.
Thank you.
No, he's Mutt Anus.
Mutt anus? I don't think
He's
it's
Mutt
Mutt anus.
He's Mutt Anus.
I think we're supposed to think he's mutated.
When you get plays, Mutt Anus.
Hated
All
right. Anyway, Devout Dungeoneer, another one here. 3 mana, 2/3.
Concept.
Battle Cry. Draw a holy spell. If it's a holy spell, draw a spell. If it's a holy spell, reduce its cost by 2. So obviously good. Priest has no draw, right?
They have insight.
Yeah. Priest doesn't really have a lot of draw, but like they don't even need it so much because they generate a million things of value. So like I don't even know if you run this card, because like you're putting yourself into fatigue, but you probably run it. It's really good. Most of your spells are holy spells, right?
I think you just run it for the reduction, right? Like the reduction is pretty sweet. Like,
yeah.
If you had like palm readings or apotheosis with it, it costs 1. That's dope, right? Like,
yeah, this is just a really good card, I think. Yeah,
and it makes your so if you're playing like the Miracle Priest, right? It kind of like just lines up with your Blood Weaver and your Vile Weaver really well, because you're already reducing those cards. So then when you palm reading, everything gets even reduced more. So you can just like have these bigger, just huge swing turn.
Well, at least
it's palm reading Shadow. Thank God.
It went to the 3-cost pool, so you can't run it in like the Nazmani, like Miracle Priest at least. Thank God. But yes, this does just allow you to pop off more. But there are you do run some shadow spells like Raise Dead, and I think Insight is also a shadow spell. if you are running that. So you might whiff a little bit of the time, probably like 15% of the time, 20%. Like you most of the time you should get a holy spell, and it should be good. But
Zero mana condemns. It's gonna feel bad for aggro.
Yeah, like as long as it's not the mirror matchup, it's going to be good. Just because of the fatigue kind of thing. But yeah, solid card for sure.
Yeah, for some reason,
So in normal priest builds, it will tutor smite, renew, and condemn.
Like palm reading is a shadow spell. That's what somebody's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bat said it's shadow. I thought it was a
So
holy.
this will always pull holy smite, renew, or condemn in the builds now.
Okay, so maybe it's not as good as we thought, or I thought. Still probably good enough to run.
It's very good against it's very good for anti-aggro that you can basically either draw renew for free, holy smite for free, or condemn for free. That's a pretty reliable, like, don't kill me against like Hunter or something.
But remember, it's draw a spell, like Pig pointed out. So if it's a holy spell, it just gets the reduce. So it can get a palm reading, it just doesn't reduce it.
Oh, okay.
Still just draw, which is what the class needs. If they needed anything.
I mean, Priest has no draw. So you're giving him draw and possibly a reduction along with draw. It just seems like a pretty solid Priest card.
You know, it's funny. Power Word Feast would actually make this card tempo-centric if it was holy, but it's not. It's just nothing.
How is Power Word Feast not a holy card? It's a holy feast.
It's not.
All right, next card.
Do it.
All right, this card disappoints me like a lot. Like it just. So we have we have a Frostweave Dungeoneer, 3 mana 2/3, Battlecry, draw a spell, and then if it's a frost spell, you summon 2 1/1 elementals that freeze. So again, kind of forcing this freeze archetype. We saw it with Shaman. We saw it in Shaman through a variety of expansions, and it was like fucking trash. And now we're seeing it again in Mage, where they're printing like these, like the new Mage Legendary that if freezes the board and if they're already frozen, does some damage. So, what do you guys think of good old Freeze Mage? It's amazing in WoW. Freeze Mages in WoW are great, but in Hearthstone, I don't know.
It's gonna be sweet for Spell Mage off Fauna Power.
Yeah.
To pull your brain freeze.
Are there so many freeze spells?
I don't think so. There's no more like Ray of Frost. It's really just Brain Freeze, Cone of Cold if you play it.
And Flurry.
Flurry.
Yeah, not so thrilled about it. I don't. Yeah. Next card. No.
No, seriously, I was like thinking of like how this card could be useful, or like what they could do to Mage to like kind of like make this sort of like frost thing interesting. And what they could do is be able to allow you to switch your spell types in the deck. So there could be like a 2 or 3 mana card, like Deck of Lunacy changes all your spells. What if you could like play a spell that turns all your fires into frost and all your frosts into fire? I don't know, just stuff that allows you to like switch like the spell typing on some of your cards to make like cool stuff like this to make it like work. I don't know. If anything, Mage should be able to do that.
You're gonna have to pay 10 gold to change specs, but no, thank you.
This is gonna make spell damage. What's it called? No mini Mage so much better, because the one thing that deck didn't have was draw. I'm kidding.
Nice.
Yes. So now they have more though, which is terrifying. You know, like, oh, they didn't get their refreshing, what's it called, spring water yet. Maybe they'll draw it off of this that they got off of Fauna Power.
Yeah, definitely probably just good to get off Fauna Power, but that would be interesting, Warshack, if they did do something like that. That would be crazy. I don't think Mage needs another randomly transforming your whole entire deck into other cards kind of thing. I think people would probably lose their mind.
Well, not transform the card into a random fire card. I just like transform just the name, like the typing of the spell. I don't know, make that a minion. Yeah. We're not talking. I'm not trying to change the whole deck like lunacy again. I'm just changing like if you could change like a fireball to a frost bolt or a frostbolt or a frozen ball. I don't fucking know. And so this guy actually makes use. I don't know. You know.
That would be cool. Agreed.
We have a next one. The lady. It's not off the Hearthstone website. So these next 3, I thought there was 4 that were translated. We might be missing one.
Might be missing one.
Lady Anaconda.
Yeah, so 6 mana, 3/6. Your nature spells cost 2 less. I think this card's
3.
more.
Sorry.
I think it's terrifying. Why would you not run this in Token Druid, right? I mean, yes, it's expensive, but you could just like, I don't know, man. Like that's hard to remove too. It's got 7 health. You can lightning bloom this thing out, play like all your solar eclipses, lunar eclipses, make your next spell cheaper. You could just pop off with like on like turn 4 with a single lightning bloom. You know, like.
Yeah, it's like, it's only scary. It's like, I'm also scared, but like, it's only scary if it's actually playable. Like, it's so hard to actually tell if it's playable. Like, does Token Druid even need this? Like, it's so much mana to play this. And then, like, you'd have to have so much mana. Like, you would have to have other, like, mana besides this. Like, besides playing the 6-drop, because, like, you have...
Innervate.
I mean, sure, but... I don't know if this is as scary as it seems, but if it is good, if it is played, then I think it will be insane. So.
It makes germination cost 1, right, or cost 2, and then you do it once, and then it stacks, right? Then your nature spells cost 4 less, and then one of them is taunt. That's scary.
That's your whole turn?
I mean, then you get all your cards are free, so then you can, you know, like. You could nourish, get more mana back. The whole celestial alignment concept of this, I can imagine germination being ran in that, just to like get your nourishes off for free, cycle through your entire deck, get out auctioneer, do all that incredibly powerful stuff. Like this makes the celestial alignment deck have like a very easy pop off now, because then all the spells cost 0.
That's true. If you do play with the after celestial alignment, then it's going to cost 1, and then it makes everything else cost 0. So that I can see, yes.
Nourish costs 0, which means you can give yourself more mana to...
Well, yeah, you can OTK with Cthulhu in like, what, 2 turns after Celestial with this card? Because, like, you just keep playing spells with Auctioneer, and, like, you just win. They all cost 0.
That deck
like, there's no minions in the deck. But the thing is, like...
Mutt Anus, so...
You're going to eat the Anaconda. But... with stuff like this, like if it sees no play because it's not fast enough or it's not good enough or what have you, it'll see no play, right? But then if it does see play and it's like Giga Broken and Celestial Druid is killing people on turn like 4 or 5 with Cthulhu consistently, they're just gonna do your nature spells cost 2 less but can't cost less than 1. They should have just made this card say that this period. I don't think things costing 0 is good. I've always been 0 costing cards is bad. Sorcerer's Apprentice. We've seen what happens when they print. Your stuff just costs less. We've been down this road before, and it's not a good road. And the road eventually leads to death, and that death we don't like because we like living. And you know what else? This card needs to, like, I don't know. I just don't like shit just costing 0.
I think you're onto something though, that when you said that it's either going to be like shit or it's going to be broken, because text like this, it only goes one direction. Like it's never just like decent, you know, it's going to be insane or it's going to be not good enough at all. Yeah. But I think the health line makes it pretty believable because,
you know, this card's stat line is very sure-ish. But it's very reminiscent of Kalthos. Or what is that? What it is? Kalthos? The 4/7?
Yeah.
And Kalthos was really, really good. Before they nerfed. I don't even remember what it used to be. What was the nerf to it?
They made him a 7 mana, and then they made it so he
cost 1.
Yeah, not 0. Okay. Made it cost 1.
Yeah, so I mean, like, this stat line is very similar to what Kalthos used to be. with like having so much health like that and the reduction. That's just kind of scary for me. And like talking about this combo thing, that's like the deck actually, like the Cthulhu Druid combo deck is already like pretty solid. Like you can do insane stuff and get through your deck really fast. So
it's hard to play.
Sure.
And live. But
yeah. Yeah, kind of scary. We go on to the next one though. We'll see what happens with it. You know.
Yeah,
we
not
don't
a
really
fan of this card.
see more stuff or until we see it played.
All right, we got the All Devouring Ooze. 3 mana, 3/2 Death Rattle. Summon a 2/2 adventurer with a random effect.
Rob, what's an adventurer?
I'm so glad you asked. An adventurer is basically like a 2/2, but he's got a random keyword attached. So he could have Lifesteal, he could have Taunt, he could have Wind Fury, he could have all of the keywords available. So sometimes if you're playing like against a hunter and you hit Taunt, oh my god, you're so good. But if you hit like, I don't know, Poisonous, that's useless. So more random attached to early game minions for high variance plays. Poggies.
I don't like this card. Well, we were talking about it before we went live. We basically just went off on like how this is going to feel so bad for everyone.
I mean, it's probably like a staple in like everything, right? Like most decks, except like maybe not control decks, but like this is just like a really good tempo-esque card. That has the potential to high roll like very like nuts. The thing is like it's always a 2/2, so at least it's not like an adapt kind of thing where it can gain like +3 health or +3 attack, something like that. But still, like rolling Divine Shield into like a Blessing of Kings turn could be pretty insane. Yeah, different high rolls for different situations could make it very good. But I don't know, it doesn't seem like so much of a problem. Also, Mage is just gonna devolve it half the time, so.
I mean, it's like a piloted Shredder, but it's a little bit less variance-y. Like, instead of just any 2-drop, the 2-drop is bound to being a 2/2, but, you know, it could have, like, Poisonous, and then your opponent wanted to play, like, a big minion, and now they can't. I don't know. It just seems...
That's a good comparison, yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like an earlier piloted Shredder.
Yeah, I can see, like, a lot of minion-based decks just running it because it gives you 2 well-statted minions on curve that could be incredibly high rolly. Like the Wind Fury concept in Paladin really terrifies me. Like,
yeah,
getting a 3 mana 3/2 adventurer with a 2/2 next to it. I can't get rid of the 2/2, and then suddenly, there's like a Blessing of Kings or a Blessing of Authority or a Hand of Doll on it, and it's smorking me to death. Like that is definitely what's gonna happen. So.
Oh yeah,
it's pretty good with the Librams, right?
Infinite Librams.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a solid card. I don't think it's like broken, but it just seems really good to run in most things. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Are there other cards with adventurers too?
There is one more, and it is this Paladin card, which me and Draco went into great detail before the podcast about how we absolutely dislike the artwork. But besides, we'll get to that after. So it's a 7-mana card, and it says create. For those of you who don't understand what it says here, let me translate it for you. I speak this.
He speaks that.
I speak this. It's create 5 2/2 pilgrims, aka adventurers, and they all get their random little abilities. So for 7 mana, you could get 5 2/2s with taunt, Wind Fury. Obviously, they're all going to be different, but they could all be Divine Shield, and that's pretty strong.
I mean, or they could just not be Divine Shield, or they could all just
could be taunt.
Taunts, you know?
Yeah, 2/2 taunts.
And like that sucks.
Yeah, like the variance is quite high when you have all the keywords together like that.
You're gonna see a lot of these in Lunacy Mage, just because like the 7 drops pool is like very uncontested. That's why you see Cycle of Hatred so much. So this is gonna be the new thing they get. You're gonna be playing against this card whether you like it or not. I don't like it.
because it just adds minions to the board. So then if you can't clear them, you know they're gonna survival of the fittest afterwards.
Yeah, it'll be perfect.
Gives them more ways to generate more tons of minions onto the battlefield.
One of the things that me and Rob were discussing that we disliked about it were the lack of paladins in the paladin card. But there is a demon hunter, a mage, but seems to be a druid and a rogue in it.
Yep.
From the translation, I assume it's going to be some kind of joke, like looking for group or pickup group, or some kind of like WoW joke that we've kind of came to this conclusion. That's why the art makes no sense. But yeah.
I mean, they obviously put the Demon Hunter on there because they wanted you to play other classes, Draco. They really wanted you to play out Paladin a little more. So
it literally looks like it's a Demon Hunter card when the main centerpiece of the card is a dude with horns, glowing eyes, and a warb glaive. Like, what the hell?
Maybe
this is a Paladin card.
Maybe they haven't translated the color of the card yet. So maybe it's actually supposed to be dark green for Demon Hunter. I don't know.
And there's no like race in this picture that can be a paladin. Like for
Oh my God,
like
you're
in
right.
regards to like WoW, like you can't be a gnome paladin. You can't, obviously if you're a demon hunter, you're not a paladin. Whatever that spectral thing is, it's not a paladin. And then a Tauren also cannot be a paladin. So I just don't understand. And whatever that slime thing is, obviously that is also not a paladin.
There was an awesome artwork piece that had all 10 classes, including Paladin. That was the basis for this artwork. Okay, interesting.
You want the translation? We literally said what this card was.
Summons 5/2/2 adventurers with random effects.
Yes.
Taunt, Lifesteal, Wind Fury, Divine Shield, Poison.
Oh, Death Rattle.
No.
Okay, so the thing is, like, is this card even good though? Like, sure, you can high roll and get everything with Divine Shield. That's very unlikely. Like, you have to like really, if you're evaluating this kind of card, I would think you would want to like evaluate what's like the average roll, and like maybe the average roll. I don't know how many mechanics there are to choose from. Maybe there's 5. So maybe like the average is 1 of each. And then it's like, is 1 Divine Shielded 2/2 along with these other 2/2s that don't do anything right now? Is that good enough? Doesn't really seem too great, but like it's still 10/10 in stats spread out. But like against a class like Priest, like it's gonna be nothing. Like it's gonna do absolutely nothing. And this is 7 mana, and like Paladin can do a lot better for 7 mana. So I don't really see it, but maybe I'll be surprised. I don't know.
I can't wait to see someone play this card and land the same keyword on all 5. Like they get like 5 stealth minions.
That will happen.
You know, you're just like, okay, because I'm taking 10.
There's actually more than 5, right? You have Rush, Stealth, Wind Fury, Taunt, Divine Shield.
What if Charge is in the pool?
Oh my god.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Oh no.
I think this
it
card
said
is
it hasn't been.
Oh my god.
This is one of those probably won't be played in the Paladin deck unless like there's some extreme synergy, you know, adventure cards. Like, you know, your adventures get +2/+2 this game or some stupid shit. But this is just being randomly generated through, like you said, Deck of Lunacy, Oh My Yogg. Now there's another 7 mana card that stuff can turn into. It just adds other things now for that 7 mana pool that can just like randomly generate what have you. You know what I mean? That can definitely sway a game.
Yeah.
I don't know. It probably won't be playable. It's a good arena card though. Probably.
A really good arena card.
Yeah.
All right. That was like that was our last card. I thought there was one more, to be honest. One more translation.
Oh, there's
card.
that card, Imprisoned Celestial, that gives everything Divine Shield after it pops. If you like burst it with Spelled Burst, that would be pretty nuts with this. But that's a 10 mana combo, right?
Yeah.
That'd be
that's
cool.
a dormant horsey. Yeah.
So there's a dormant horsey where it wakes up and turns everything with Divine Shield, right?
Yeah, but they're just gonna roll Divine Shield anyway, so why would you play that? All right, do we want to get a Q&A?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, pull it up. Chat, this is your time to shine. Give us your questions and we'll possibly answer them.
Yes. Do it.
Yeah, Allura's still in standard. Allura Skolomance. What about the 7 mana 8/4/9 beast, or is that fake? I actually included that.
Oh, that's the one card that we missed out on, the fluffy wind drake. That's what I was asking.
I found it and I put it in our group thing.
Okay, I'll bring it up. We'll talk. I'm applying the super suit. Hold on. Somebody cashed it.
Have you broken the meta yet?
Of course.
That's a hard question.
Look at Paladin. The meta's broken, bro.
I made a Demon Hunter deck that one of the Grandmasters brought to Grandmasters. Does that count? Probably not.
Wow, that's a good flex out of nowhere. I like it.
Does that count as breaking the meta? Not really, right?
Oh, what is this?
This is a bird, a dragon hawk.
Yeah,
that
this is the
really
fluffy
pissed.
wing dragon hawk. That's fluffy winged. We like the name.
Is it really what it's called? Fluffy winged
Yes.
dragon hawk?
Yeah, fluffy winged dragon cock. I mean hawk. It's a 4/9 beast, 8 mana, so you can get them off like what, Living Seed, and whenever
I
you
hate
play a
the name of that
nature
card.
spell, it generates an additional 4/2 little hawk that has rush.
That seems pretty good.
Seems terrible. This card's trash.
No, really?
Yes. You want to pay 8 mana for a card that requires you to also have
Hell
other
yeah.
cards in your hand that then that create 4/2s when you can play like other 8 mana cards that like actually do something when they come out that don't rely on other shit in your hand.
It's kind of like Mount Seller though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I just don't like it.
It is kind of like Mount Seller, but you always get a 4/2 with Rush, and that's like generally good. And like 8 mana for a Druid is like 4 mana for another class, so it's not so bad.
Yeah, with Celestial, it could be cool. Play it for 1. Play all your nourishes. Clear the board.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know if this has a spot in Celestial. You probably don't even want this in there,
Yeah.
but
Probably not.
yeah. Is it a beast as well?
Fluffy wing druid. Here we go.
I mean, it's a beast. Is there beast synergy with it? They have the guy that copies it, but that's not even great.
You have Living Seed, right? Draw a beast from your deck, reduce its cost by spooch.
Okay. Yeah.
Living Seed is the grossest name of any Hearthstone card that's ever existed. I cannot stand hearing that card's
What a
name.
baby is. Like, do you not like babies?
Living
Draco
Seed.
baby hater confirmed here.
I play Living Seed. Oh my god.
Which allows me to draw 2 beast seeds from my deck.
Such a dirty card.
Keep getting those questions going in chat, by the way, guys.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we totally.
We covered
questioned
that
it
now.
answered.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Isn't the Hydra dick a beast too? The 7 mana 7/7 when it attacks, you get an 8 mana card. That's a beast, right?
Marshtide Hunter or
Marsh
something?
Tide Hunter. What do you?
Marshtide. I don't know. Beast though, yeah.
Guys, I don't hate
Hydra.
babies. That is not the takeaway here. Damn it. All right.
Orcs. All right.
What was the last song I sang in the shower? It was the Hercules song. Where the Go the Distance. That one.
It wasn't a D-Money song. Oof.
I mean, I can't sing those songs other than like one of them. They're raps.
Dude, Bat has a great
Fair enough,
question.
What is it?
If they could print one card, what would you like to see being printed? That's a juicy question.
Probably a card that like deletes Demon Hunter or something.
Oh my god. Let's be reasonable.
Tough question.
I wish there was a card that said, give your hero +2 attack, add a second slice to your hand.
Stop.
That also gives you +2 attack. It would call it Twin Slice.
Oh shit. Is that right?
That's a really hard question because like
No, it's not. What's a good
it's because
card?
like no, because like are you choosing should I choose a neutral card because like I like
Whatever,
to play
it's your
like,
card. Pick a card that you want to see. What card? You can be biased here. It's yours. This is your time for your card. This is catered to DmoneyGames. You can have a card.
First, then. I'll think
No, what do you
about
mean you go first? You're first on the list. It starts from left to right. I'm in the middle, D.
it. Is this a new rule that we just made up? Right?
This is how it's always been.
If I can make a card. Dude, I don't know. This question's impossible. I need more time.
Plays card game all day. Doesn't know what card he would like to enter the game to make it better.
I would really have to think about it. Like, I don't know.
You don't want Pocket Galaxy back? You wouldn't want like a reprint of like that? You wouldn't want Lothab, Dirty Rat, another version of Cthulhu? I'm inserting ideas. Idea insertion.
All right,
That's
I
you're
like
overthinking it.
I love tech cards. I like what Mr. Wyatt's here is saying in chat. A card that destroys multiple secrets, yeah, something like that. A neutral card that destroys multiple secrets. That's all I got. Just tech card. Good tech card.
I would like a warrior card that had some sort of like it would morph and grow over time. You could like power up this like warrior weapon of some sorts, and I think that would be really cool. Or some sort of like dual wielding, or a rage mechanic. I don't know, just something that gives like a warrior tanky sort of feel, or a frenzy warrior that's not like the frenzy mechanic that we have now, but more so like the inside of WoW frenzy mechanic. So that'd be mine.
I want a 9-mana card that gives Demon Hunter Wind Fury.
All right, we're going on to the next question.
I want a 9-mana I win the game Demon Hunter card, please. Said like a true Demon Hunter.
Imagine how sweet that would be with Inquisitor, that you got like to attack twice and you got it reduced for skull. Yeah, you can go for 16 in one turn.
Wow. I wish I could just like inject the fel into my forehead and just punch my opponent through the screen to make him DC. That'd be pretty good.
Oh man. There was a good question in chat too that someone asked. Vegito, did you guys see the pure stat lines on cards coming out in this expansion is lower than all of the previous ones? Seems like Team 5 is purposely lowering the power level of cards, so it would not surprise me if we saw weaker cards in the next expansions to keep up with the Skullomance ones to keep them in check.
See, I like that's a really optimistic comment there, because like I think they're saving some stuff right now, and I don't know. Like the thing is that so many people don't enjoy this meta. Like it's not only me. A lot of people don't enjoy the meta, and like even like the top level players, the top level streamers, they just hate it. So I think that like in order to really switch up the meta, they're going to have to release some very powerful cards, and I don't like that they're going to have to do it because like it's more of this power creep. But like I think that they want to switch it up to please people, and that there's going to be some very strong things that should switch up the meta. But that's just my opinion. I don't know.
Like the new turtle legendary warrior card, strongest turtle of all. Sorry, Draco. What were you saying?
Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying as well, guys, where like they're gonna have to print more powerful things if they want the meta to change a little bit, like at least away from Paladin. I think that I hope they actually print more powerful cards because some classes still have them in the game and some do not. So I think everything deserves to have powerful cards, and right now, like the thing there's cool minion based decks because of the lack of powerful cards like Rush Warrior and stuff, and like Death Rattle Demon Hunter, and that's cool. I like those kinds of matchups where it feels kind of like old Hearthstone, where you have to care about like the trades and the board, and you know, the value you're getting from each minion. But then you also have situations like Octobot, where someone's reducing their entire hand to 0 and then drawing a bajillion cards. And then playing Secret Passage and yeah. So like that's not fair in comparison to like what Warrior does is powerful. You know, like Warrior has conditioning. Rogue
Shield
has
Maiden.
Yes. Yeah, Rogue, yeah. Warrior got Shield Maiden. Rogue can make their entire hand cost 0. And do like massively insane stuff with field contact. And if that's in the game, other classes need to be able to do other crazy stuff too. Because like if you can't compete up with your hand costing 0 and drawing infinite amounts of cards, then the game is not going to be super fun. So
somebody did. People were saying that last mini set did shake up the meta. It did have a lot of powerful cards in it, and that is true. Like we saw Nitro Boost Poison before it got nerfed. We saw other cards that I can't think of at the moment. There were a lot that were good. They were very strong. So
What was the last mini set?
there, I don't remember, but there were good cards in there. People were saying there were good stuff.
It was a Dark Moon Fair thing, right? What the heck? Is it that bad that we don't even remember what the last mini set was?
it was
So long, man. I don't know.
oh my god.
Really, guys? I feel bad that I don't know. Dark Moon Races. That's what it was. The races.
I thought that was this one. I don't know.
Well, it's the Dark Moon Fair, and then you had the Dark Moon like races.
Yeah.
That's
Hysteria? Somebody saying Hysteria? There were powerful cards in there, so I wouldn't be surprised if this one is very powerful as well.
Skullomance was like insanely powerful though, with like all of the reorganizing of your deck, and then they have that's where Soul Demon Hunter came from. It's where the Librams came from. First day of school, Secret Passage. That is a good point. Skullomance.
That's
is
the
insane.
academy. That's where the best
The
were
school.
made. Yeah, that was the school. That's where we learned.
Moonfang. That came from the mini set. That's a cool card.
Pig in chat asked, what does the D&D money stand for? That's a great question. It stands for Daniel. Actually, nothing crazy. Daniel Money. I have a song called Daniel Money. Just saying. That's what it stands for.
All right, let's snag one more question, and then we'll wrap. All right, chat. Let's go. One more juicy, succulent question to end this episode 60 of Metabreakers Podcast. Most underrated card? What are your favorite food on Fridays?
It seems the chat has run out of questions.
All right.
What's your favorite food on Fridays, Rob?
Yeah. Favorite Friday food. I mean, normally on.
So yeah. All right.
Well, normally on Friday we go on bike. It's Bike Ride Friday. So because it's Bike Ride Friday, I always get a pitcher of Yingling, and I either get one of two things. I either get a winger wrap because it was a tendy day, or if it wasn't a tendy day and I have to eat good, I'll get a shrimp and chicken rice bowl.
Wow. That's a good answer. Gotta get down on Friday. That's right, Tim. Oh, man.
Okay. What do you guys eat on Friday? We'll wrap up with that.
Fridays is the day that we typically get to order food from wherever we want. And I am a taco fiend, so I always order from this place called Condados. And they do the thing where they have a soft tortilla where they put queso and chorizo on it and wrap it around a hard tortilla where the taco is actually within.
Dude, just go to Taco Bell, get a cheesy gordita crunch, bro.
Yeah. Ooh.
It is a cheesy gordita crunch, but it's restaurant style. So it's got like cilantro and like tequila lime steak.
It's definitely better. Yeah, it's making me hungry over here.
Dude,
tacos are never a bad choice. But tacos are for Tuesdays because Taco Tuesday. So, but we'll allow it. On Friday, I mean, I eat whatever my mom makes me for dinner. So I don't really have a choice, but if I were to choose, it would be pizza. Because pizza on Fridays sounds like a really, really good time. Pizza OP.
Good answers, gentlemen.
This is the guy who has a command in his stream to tell you everything that he doesn't like to eat.
Really?
Yeah. Exclamation point food. I used to send that list to women when I would talk to them on apps because it's a great conversation starter. And
food I don't like.
They're like, "Oh my god, you don't like chocolate?" I'm like, "No, I don't." What are we gonna do? I don't like chocolate, but I like chocolate women, baby.
All
right. We're out of here. We're done.
All right, guys. Thanks for another wonderful Metabreakers podcast. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you stream today, guys, have a good stream as well. Thanks for having me.
Oh my god, I love you guys. Have a good day. See you guys later. Have a wonderful remainder of your weekend. And if you're off tomorrow, enjoy the extra day off. Let's go.
I take no off days. I stream every day, baby. Thank you. Good podcast. Have a great stream, Rob. Hope you guys stick around for the meme deck extraordinaire over here.